Hello everybody. Today this is my 2015 Ram RT regular cab short bed, and what I decided to do is go with Diode Dynamics switchbacks. So what this does is it enables the turn signal to become a daytime running light and a turn signal. Well, in order to do this, there is quite a bit of involvement. What that consists of, as you can see, I still have the driver's headlight out, and you have to remove the grill. That's the minor stuff. But what you have to do, here is the driver's headlight here. You have to open up the headlight. So what you have to do is, what I did is, after watching a few YouTube videos, I decided to put mine in the oven at 270 degrees initially for 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, you get it out and you start working everything around. You unsnap the clips. You got clips down here. You start unsnapping that, and then the casing will start become pliable, and then the Permatex will start to break loose, and you have to do it all the way around. Keep in mind, this is very time consuming. I probably, in one headlight getting it apart, probably a half hour. And what that would consist of is, like I said, the first 10 minutes was at 270 degrees. I would get it out, I would do a little prying, and then I would have to put it back in the oven for about 5 minutes. And then from there on, I would do 5-minute increments until I finally got the headlight open. All right, after everything is opened, you know, Diode Dynamics has their own video of them showing you how you remove your factory boards. These are the factory boards, and then you put their boards in. That's pretty much self-explanatory, but what I was going to do, and I want to let anybody that wants to do this heads up. These projectors are FXRs, and it's a retrofit. You can put these in just about some of the vehicles with adapters. And this plate right here is to adapt it to the Ram that had the projector headlight. So I thought while the headlight was out, I would go ahead and put these projectors in. Well, as you can see, I'm already waiting for this headlight to completely cure, and I did not put it in. I had it in, but let me tell you, the design of the install for these are not worth the darn. It was really crappy, and I tried it several times, and I finally said, you know what, screw it, I'm going back to the factory projector. Now, I did have these projectors in a 14 Silverado, and I gotta tell you, these projectors are absolutely amazing. Their cutoff line is extremely superb. I mean, beautiful, beautiful projectors, but they were not going to work in the Ram. And the reason being, you can kind of see how the bolt and the nut, well, the nut sits on the other nut, and it's just kind of shoddy. And then to get the spacing right, I had to put washers for spacers underneath here. But that's not the worst part. The worst part was actually putting it in the housing. There was a good ½ inch distance before it would even fit flush, and it wouldn't even go in any further. And then it was going to throw everything off. So you know what, I said screw it, I'm not putting it in, and I went back with the factory projectors. Factory projectors are really nice, but these Morimoto's FXRs, these things are amazing. But yeah, it's not for the Ram. I don't recommend putting them in the Ram. I'm just kind of giving you a heads up. But secondly, when you put these headlights back together, let me show you. I bought this stuff. It's basically just butyl. It's what they call their retro rubber. And it's basically butyl. As you can see, that's what it is. And they say, and even though when I stretched it out where it was real nice and thin, and you put it all the way around, and then you put the headlight on top of it and you try to squeeze it, and then you put it back into the oven for 5 minutes or so, heat it up, and then you clamp everything together. Well, I worked at it and worked at it, and I was getting very frustrated, so I said, you know what, I'm gonna do it my way. So what I end up doing, and by the way, it's a good idea to completely clean out all the old Permatex, and that took me hours last night to do both headlights, to get all the Permatex out of the grooves and off of the headlight, and you got to be careful. But after all that, what I decided to do is use this stuff, Permatex Ultra Black gasket maker. I was able to get everything. I put a nice bead in there, so when I squeeze it together, everything kind of oozed out. It's got a nice seal, everything clipped together. I'm very happy with it. Now here's the other headlight, which is already done and in place. And there's your daytime running light now, instead of your amber. And then when you turn on your turn signal, it goes to the orange. So there you go. There's the turn